Okay, here we have drill press with die. The point forming die is in this chuck. It's a 5/8 chuck, 5/8 bolt. It's already been drilled and made. It's a die right now. And this thing here is a piece of coat hanger, a fat plastic coat hanger that I have shaped on the inside so that that rim on the outside polishes a cone inside the die, very similar to a forcing cone on a revolver. And that cone has a flat spot where it meets the die for the base forming die. I have one right here I can show you for reference. I just dropped it. So bear with me here, folks. I'm always doing stuff like that. Anyway, this is what goes in there. Move this out of the way. This is the base forming die. And it's got the rebate of the .22 long rifle bullet cut in there. Plus it's got, you can see that little round domed thing. That's the forms the hollow base of the bullet. And it squishes up in there against that like forcing cone type thing. And so when there's a little excess lead, that lead will get pinched off. And there's a hollow space around the cone where the lead can go and get pinched off. And it has to be highly polished, otherwise it'll get stuck in there. That's why I polish around that, so when after I form a bullet, squish it up in there with this, that little rim of lead, if it doesn't stay on the bullet, it won't get stuck in the die. So I polish it with this stuff. Now this is charged with 50 grit diamond grit. 50 grit in the micron thing. It's about 280 to 300 grit if you compare it to sandpaper. Whoops. So I got this spinning at about 2,000 RPM. I could make it faster, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to wake everybody. So I just polish it with this. I've been polishing it a lot already. And you notice that this chuck is set in a little, in a bearing of a pulley. And it spins if I let it go. I find that to be very useful in a lot of ways. In this situation, I use it to allow it to spin every once in a while, so that charging, grinding paste is thrown out to the edges, forced out to the edges of centrifugal force, and basically recharges the edge of that little plastic die that's polishing the inside of the die. This also comes in very handy when I chuck. I put a drill bit in there, and obviously I turn the speed down, but I put a drill bit in there and I allow it to spin a little bit, turn a little bit while I'm drilling. That way it drills a hole straight through. It doesn't wander off to the edge. And I get a centered hole all the way through the work. And that's how I have to deal with this without having a lathe. You'll hear that squeak a little bit. That's actually the plastic squeaking up in there. I probably don't have enough stuff in there right now. Paste. But that paste is real cheap. I bought 3 tubes. 3 tubes like this for I think $3.99. It's $1 over a tube. I don't know if you can read that, but it's 50 grit diamond paste, oil-soluble diamond paste, which is pretty good stuff. I mean, it'll polish anything, really. So there you have this particular function that I do.